It was another day of incredibly mixed messaging from the Trump administration. The tension at the briefing was obvious and painful to watch as the president tried to downplay the concerns of a second wave of the coronavirus in the fall. President Trump made several claims during yesterday's press briefing that were immediately refuted by doctors around him. He tried to coax them several times into saying the virus may not return. In another instant, the president claimed the Washington Post misquoted the CDC director. This was at the beginning. He forced the CDC director to get up on stage to the podium and refute himself, even though he couldn't. It was incredible, and you have to think about the screaming and the arguing that must have happened during the day leading up to that moment, with the president ordering the head of the CDC to try and change what he said to the Washington Post, even though he believes what he said to the Washington Post was true.
To give bad medical advice, and this is how it played out. Watch this.
Robert Redfield was totally misquoted in the media on a statement about the fall season and the virus. Totally misquoted.
You were accurately quoted, correct?
I'm accurately quoted in the Washington Post.
What Dr. Redfield clearly was asking for, just like we ask for every American to follow the guidelines, he's saying, please add to that guidelines getting your flu shot and making sure you're protected.
There's a good chance that COVID will not come back.
We don't know.
Or if it comes back, it's in a very small, confined area that we put out.
Well, the great thing is we'll be able to find it earlier this time.
That might not come back at all, Jeff. It may not come back at all. He's talking about a worst-case scenario where you have a big flu and you have some corona. But it's all possible. It's also possible it doesn't come back at all.
We will have coronavirus in the fall. I am convinced of that. There will be coronavirus in the fall.
I mean, it's
whoa.
just unbelievable. I cannot wrap my arms around the fact that you have networks that screwed up months ago, saying this was going to be a hoax. And then they screwed up, like pushing false drugs. And now they're screwing up, saying this might magically go away. And you've got a president who said this is going to magically go away. We only have 15 people. It's down to 0. Like, Willie, when do these people learn? Like, Donald Trump's gut was, this is going to magically go away in February. This is going to magically go away. We've got 15 cases, going to go down to 0. In April, it's going to magically go away. We're going to have, probably by the end of next week, more people dead from COVID-19 than died in the entire Vietnam tragedy. In the entire Vietnam War, more Americans dead from COVID-19. This thing that he said would magically go away in April. Then we had the president magically say, this drug, oh no, I know nothing about this drug, but my gut just tells me, just like his gut told him it would magically go away, my gut just tells me that this drug is going to do great. No, we find out it killed vets. Find out that actually it's not working. We find out that he actually fired somebody because they wouldn't promote it, because he wouldn't promote it in a way that Dr. Fauci said from the beginning, hey, we got to do clinical trials. We don't know if this is going to kill people or whether it's going to, but he had a gut feeling. He was wrong. His gut feeling now is that it's not going to come back in the fall, when in fact, as we've said here for some time, as I tweeted yesterday, even before I knew what was going to be happening in the press conference yesterday, the flu pandemic of 1918 was actually stronger in the fall. I think we said that yesterday on this show, was stronger in the fall. Like, the real tragedy came over 3 months in the fall and the winter, because it came when it was flu season. That's what everybody's been warning about for months. I had a guy that doesn't even know about medicine warning me about this 2 months ago. I had Zeke Emanuel saying, hey, it's going to be worse in the fall, Joe. He said that back like in February. This is not breaking news. How could the president not learn from his mistakes and still ignore his doctors when every medical person will tell you the pandemic could be the worst The worst during flu season. Why am I getting so riled up? Because the president wasn't prepared before, right? The president was told in January by everybody in his administration that this was coming. Even Navarro warned him 500,000 people could die. The president ignored it. He didn't prepare. 50,000 people are dead now because of it, right? He didn't prepare. There should have been a lot less people dead. Most scientists will tell you, I'm sure, when this is all over, that if we had prepared better, if the Chinese had not lied through their teeth, those two things taken together would have saved a lot of lives. But here's my deal, okay? This is not looking backwards. This is looking forward. We have to prepare for the fall. I've got children. I want to go to school in the fall. I got Mika's mother. I want her to be able to resume a normal life in the fall.
Kids in college.
I want the White House to prepare for the fall. They can't do it if Donald Trump is still acting like this is February, where he says it's 15 people and going to magically go away. This is another tragedy. This is another disaster, just like the news work that never learns. They never learn. 50,000 Americans dead. I know it's early in the morning. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I was asleep just 15 minutes ago.
Yes, he was.
But this is jolting, Willie. 50,000 people. I was asleep 15 minutes ago.
So
0 to 60, my friends.
I'm up
but
for 2 hours.
50,000 people dead. And they were making these miscalculations just a month ago. They're still doing it. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?